Hello everyone, welcome to Bible Bites Daily. As we continue our journey through the book of Exodus, we have come to chapter 28, a chapter that unveils a unique aspect of God's divine plan for the Israelites. The consecration and ordination of the priests is not just a lesson for the ancient Israelites, but one that carries timeless wisdom and meaning for us today. In chapter 28, we are introduced to the sacred garments that the priests were to wear. These garments were far more than just clothing. They held deep spiritual significance. Let's explore what this chapter can teach us about our own lives and our role as priests in the service of God. First, God instructs Moses to consecrate Aaron, his brother, and Aaron's sons to serve as priests. This act of consecration signifies that these men were set apart for a holy purpose. Just as the priests were set apart in ancient times, we too are called to be a holy people, set apart for God's work in our lives. Now let's talk about the high priest's breastplate and ephod. The breastplate contained 12 precious stones, such as representing one of the 12 tribes of Israel. It reminds us of our unity as God's people. We may continue from different backgrounds, but we are all called to serve the same God. In our diversity, we find strength and beauty. The ephod worn over the breastplate had 2 onyx stones on the shoulders, engraved with the names of the 12 tribes. This symbolizes that the high priest carried the people on his shoulders. In our lives too, we are called to bear one another's burdens, just as Christ bears ours. Now, what we are looking at in this chapter. We are looking at the garments that our priests wearing. And we are trying to find out the significance of these garments and the ornaments on these garments. And we are trying to correlate our faith with these garments. The breastplate also held the Urim and Thummim, which were used for seeking God's guidance. This teaches us the importance of seeking God's direction in our lives, especially in times of uncertainty. Just as the high priest relied on the Urim and Thummim, we should seek God's guidance through prayer and seeking His will. So, what do you mean by seeking His will? So, in these days today, what do you mean by seeking His will? We can pray. This is not a two-way communication as we see right now. Okay? So, we are praying. That means we are trying to reach out to God. We are asking God. And how do we really seek His will? How do we really seek His response to our prayer? That we have to believe and trust that He is going to do what is best for us. Okay? In His response, God talks to us, God speaks to us in many ways. For example, when you are in church, when you are listening to a priest in a sermon, God might speak to you out of nowhere. He might give you thoughts, or your brain might trigger something during the sermon. So things like that. Or when you are doing a Bible study on your own, early in the morning, or on your own time when you are alone. Maybe that is the time when God speaks to you back. So it's important to seek His will, and it's important to believe that He does the best for you. The robe of the ephod was honorable in symbolizing heavenly connection. It reminds us of our heavenly citizenship and the need to set our minds on things above, not on earthly things. So this is something which is very arguable and debatable. So many of the things we see are of course earthly. Okay, you need a job. You need a consistent income. You want to go into a business. You want to achieve something. Okay, you want a good life partner. All these things are earthly things. But whether we seek them or we don't seek them is a different story. Okay, the current connection that we are talking about is that we have to be in His right side. Okay, let's not forget the turban on the high priest's head, which had a plate of pure gold with the words "Holy to the Lord" inscribed. This is a reminder that everything we do, every thought we have, every word we speak should be set apart for God's holiness. Our lives should declare holy to the Lord. So, how do you make sure that our lives are reflecting holy to the Lord? See, every thought we think, or every word we speak, okay, and every act we do, everything speaks out. Everything, each one of it speaks out. So if we are doing a wrong thing, it will convey the wrong meaning. If we are doing the right thing in God's name, it will definitely convey the holiness to the Lord. In conclusion, Exodus chapter 28 is not just about the attire of ancient priests. It is a message to us about our identity as priests in God's kingdom. We are called to be set apart, to carry one another's burdens, to seek God's guidance, to live with a heavenly perspective, and to declare God's holiness in all we do. May we, as modern day priests, embrace this call and remember that just like Aaron and his sons, we are set apart to serve the living God. Let our lives be a testimony of God's holiness, unity, and heavenly connection as we continue to walk in His service. May God bless you all in abundance. Thank you.